credit to the organization, how it's built. Feels like it's built in a way that's sustainable.
Yeah.
A ton of runway for a bunch of young guys that you can be optimistic about the future. But the thing that we've learned about this game is that it's a complete waste of time to talk about getting back with the idea, oh, you'll get another chance. How many times have you heard me talk about the Masters? If you're there on Sunday and you're on the second 9 and you've got a chance, buddy, you better put your arm in a jacket. Because the notion that you'll be back there again, not back at Augusta National, but back Sunday late with a chance, you don't know how many you get. And we've talked often about seeing Aaron Rodgers early in his career. How many is he going to win? Never got back. Never got back. So when you have your chance, and Seattle seized it, and they did it with suffocating defense and a recipe, by the way, which feels, like I say, more sustainable because whether Walker comes back or not, that's a question. Good for him. Mm-hmm. In a season where he lost a lot of his time to Charbonnet, and then Charbonnet gets hurt, they rode number 9 sturdy legs, never more so than yesterday, but run it, play defense, 0 turnovers in the playoffs. I mean, it's not a sexy recipe, but it's a pennies and nickels become dimes and dollars. McDonald, I love the conversation we had with him where I asked him about, you're being a GA in 2010 for Georgia and imagining a path at 38. And he's just like, you could see him laugh, shake his head like, I don't know, man. It's amazing. And it is. So they're ahead of schedule in some regards. And so is Drake May at 23, right? I mean, to make it second youngest to get there behind Marino, who, say it with me,
never got back.
I'm not saying that about Drake May. It's just as we were flying last night, and I'm thinking about him and the day he had. And we'll get to that in a minute. But just thinking about time and the chances that you get, and the people that will be in his way. Again, I mean, Mahomes isn't going away. Tears his knee up. He's furious. He's coming back with the anger of the fury of 1,000 suns. You've got Allen and Lamar out there, MVPs, who've never even made it. They're not going away. You got a guy like Trevor Lawrence, whose team ascended, had a chance to beat Buffalo. Like, I felt like Jacksonville took a step forward this year. They're not going away. There'll be other teams that come up from not being in the mix like this. Patriots were 3-14 a year ago, right? Joe Burrow's not going away. Just the point is that there's so many obstacles. There's so many things that have to go right just to have a chance at all. And they got there ahead of schedule in Vrabel's first year. But he wasn't great in the playoffs. All the conversation throughout the regular season, you weren't a hater if you pointed out their schedule. You could just read. You just gave the context. But then you should be reasonable on the back end and go, well, they did just play 4 excellent defenses consecutively in the Chargers, Texans, Broncos, and Seattle. And he wasn't great in any of them. And he looked shook yesterday. But his left tackle also looked like he came back from an injury. And Campbell got shoved into the backfield all day long. So I think you could acknowledge New England's ahead of schedule as well, but then you also just wonder about what the path getting back looks like and just how crowded it is. And that's where I think you just have to appreciate being there and also recognize that it's not a birthright that you ever get back to these stages. You know what I mean? I don't know what's fair to say about May. I don't know. You have a different lens on the game than I do, having played it. What would you say about him?
Well, everybody's going to talk about the idea of these, who's in front of them, who's coming back in the AFC next year. Totally understand. But I watched the John Elway documentary, and you think about, we're old enough to remember back then, Denver was nothing. Had the Orange Crush, one appearance, and it was that mid-'70s when they got beat by Dallas.
Yeah, Craig Morton was your quarterback.
There you go.
In the Superdome, got boat raced.
And great uniforms, though.
Yes, they were. Which you could wear any game you want, Denver.
Correct.
All you have to do is put them on.
and they go and they play the Giants in the Rose Bowl and get smashed. They're winning at the end of the first quarter. Washington had a lead early in the first quarter.
Second quarter got away from them.
And I just think about, like, he was crushed. And he even mentioned there, he's like, we got there twice and we didn't do anything with the opportunity. And that gets into their organization taking a turn, eventually getting rid of Dan Reeves. And you can't, I mean, we're old enough. We've seen it. We've talked about it. We bring it up all the time. You're not guaranteed anything to get back there, but I'm not going to take anything away from what he did. They, the house money term was used, and that's fine and all. But he's got plenty of motivation, because when everybody keeps bringing up the people that are in front of him, no one's expecting the Patriots to do it again. So they have their motivation there.
Yeah.
You have Vrabel, that's a guy. So it's all out there on the table. Like, to your point, I mean, Lamar and Josh, they still haven't even been there.
Haven't been there.
So
as great as they've been for a long time, man. Long time.
Ahead of the timeline? Sure.